All right, what's going on, guys? It's MTG Game State back at it, Smoke Packs, with some information regarding actually MagicCon Las Vegas, as well as spoilers for SpongeBob Secret Lair. And then we're going to have our Finance Market Watch series going back into Commander, not really going into Popper or anything like that, nothing too crazy. So we're going to have a good one. I'm going to get everything on, queued up, and we'll get into spoilers first, I think, and then we'll get into the news for MagicCon Las Vegas. All right, so what's going on, guys? I know you're thinking, what the fuck is this? Why are there SpongeBob on my Magic cards? Well, guess what? And I'll give you a little bit more closer up personal view. Yeah, you're seeing it right. Secret Lair is a monthly mail-in direct service from Wizards of the Coast Hasbro. You go to the Secret Lair website and you could they have monthly drops. It's a drop series. And you could buy these cards, and they're usually like special crossovers. They did Princess Bride 1, Street Fighter, Walking Dead was the very first one. I don't know, name a franchise that had something big they've teamed up and crossed over. So the next direct mail-in series, they even did a Bob Ross. Next direct mail-in series is, I think it's going to be quite popular since these aren't original cards with SpongeBob art. These are reskinned cards with SpongeBob art. Similar to Fortnite Secret Lair and Hatsune Miku Secret Lair, where the cards aren't original card art like you would with Rick Steadfast Leader from Walking Dead. They're reskins. Kind of a little bit different. There should be full art SpongeBobs. We're going to go over each one. We don't need to necessarily get into like the effects and all that. If you're a Magic player, you know who's who. Like Skrelv, you know Skrelv. But now he's Plankton, so that's going to be pretty cool. I think Skrelv is legal still in Standard. Maybe not. Maybe Martial Machine and all that's rotated out. But still in Modern, that's still a big hit. Some of your just favorite pictures of SpongeBob, they just threw on Magic cards. That's really all I can say. Inevitable Betrayal. Search target opponent's library for a creature card, put that card on the battlefield under your control, then that player shuffles. That's pretty good. I don't even think I've ever heard of that card. What the hell? So Patrick. Counterspell is going to be popular. Some of these cards, there's going to be some of these SpongeBob cards I think are going to be more popular than others just for tournaments and all that. Secret Lair is usually priced around 50 to 60 bucks. And on second market, they can usually still not retail, they can usually still secondhand market for that price. Maybe people try to flip you for 70, 80 on these, but the singles on these will still try to command a high price. And if they're printed in premium, if they're cards that are like tied to like being printed in premium sets or not having a lot of reprints, the Secret Lair version with the 6 SpongeBob art is gonna really be a factor here. Counterspells or whatever, it's a dime a dozen, but I still feel like that's gonna be a big hit. Days, this is a Popper standard a Popper and Popper Commander staple, I should say. It's a basic counter spell, but with the little dazed out Mr. Krabs here, that's gonna just be too noteworthy to want to get to. I thought this art for Squidward was a little bit weird for me. It's just a little sussy how they have him like condescending down to us like that. I don't like that angle. But he's Grizzlax, Ithalid Scholar. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Oh, that's pretty cool. Squidward's a horror. We previously covered Spider-Man on the previous spoilers in the last episode of MTG Game State. Some people were really disappointed with the color pie choices for each character within the Marvel Spider-Man crossover. This, I feel like it makes sense for things to be in blue. Plankton in white, I guess, doesn't make sense, but white's all about control, and so is Plankton, so that makes sense. Things that feature Squidward in black maybe doesn't make sense, but because Squidward's depressed, black makes sense. Whereas the Spider-Man's in blue-white color pie. Some people, it doesn't make sense to them. To me, that does make sense. Just how you read cards, I don't know. So, Force of Despair is pretty cool. Instant. If it's not your turn, you may exile a black card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. That's a mana cost. Any card that gives you alternative casting is going to be sought after. And then, boom. It's tied with a sick art, and maybe Force of Despair doesn't have a lot of printings. we're already in that sweet checkbox I always like to talk about, guys, where this could demand a high price or at least be premium of like $3 to $5. Destroy all creatures that entered this turn. That's really good for token loot. So there's really not much to say. We got all your favorite characters and then plus a little bit more on like spells. Sandy I thought was really interesting. She's Toski because she's a squirrel. So again, creature types that are popular in Magic cards, squirrels. Sandy as a reskin Toski. Toski's extremely popular in Magic for Commander and stuff, other formats. Boom. Got Sandy squirrel art. Boom. We're gonna see this be like at least a $3 to $5 to $10 card out the gate. As on the single market, on the secondary single market. I'm telling you, you're not gonna be able to cop this for $1. I had to recheck Toski's price to like really get in the weeds on that. But just off the top of my head, I'm telling you right now, that's just how it goes. So yeah, I think my favorite one. So if you want the full art SpongeBob, here you go, Teedith. And then we'll get into my favorite one. This one I wasn't too crazy about, just because he's a reskin of a creature named Joda the Unifier. He plays in Wooburg, which is all 5. Wooburg, white, blue, black, red, green. Blue stands for U, B stands for black in Magic, so when you have all of them together, W-U-B-R-G, Wooburg. Specifically this one, Joda, I don't really care about 5 colors. Legendary creatures you control get +X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. Cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. So this is a solitaire-styled commander. I was talking shit. That does seem pretty fun. It would be cool to do legendary creatures. I could finally use my SpongeBob deck to pull out my Rick Steadfast leader, and then pull out my fucking Chun-Li. Pulling out, what else? There's so many that they kind of all blur, but the crossovers with Magic the Gathering and other IPs in the last 2 years alone, it's just so immense that the community stopped being divided on it, and we're all just kind of just like, hey, we'll take what we can get. If you're gonna throw IPs at us crossovering over with Magic, like I said, they had Fortnite, they had Hatsune Miku. We'll take whatever in this community. Patrick Star as Black-Red, I thought was very weird. I guess he does get angry, so maybe this is a Voltron-style commander. Barktooth Warbeard, Human Warrior, Legendary, 6/5. I don't get it. Maybe that's the whole joke of all of this. I don't know. I thought the color pie choice for Black-Red of Patrick was weird, because you'd think he'd be blue-green. And then my favorite was Gary the Snail as Toxrill the Corrosive, who's a slug horror. So we kind of missed it. Slugs and snails are kind of the same-ish, I guess. They're mollusks. Beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you do not control. Creatures you do not control get -1 for each slime counter on them. Whenever a creature you do not control with a slime counter on it dies, create a 1/1 black slug creature token. Pay blue-black, sack a slug, draw a card. This guy is annoying. When he hits the field in Commander, you want to get rid of him like fucking ASAP. So with that whole little cute Gary look, doesn't make him any better because he's actually really menacing. As a reskin of Toxrill, I thought that's cool. I think the reskins are actually really cool. And then we got, again, some of my favorites. Gary Come Home. Gary's missing lands, it seems like. It feels to me. Remember this episode? The bus stop episode? So, I think, all in all, the SpongeBob set, we joked about the SpongeBob set a long time ago in the community, back when they first announced crossing over IPs to us. And we're like, what? Are we going to get a SpongeBob card? So this is also kind of a meme in reality. So that's really all I got for you guys for the spoilers. Not much else I could say. Let me know if you guys like this. Let me know if you're like appalled by this. If you're new to Magic, you probably don't care and think it's cool. Usually that's most of the case, and I'm pretty stoked for that. I'm not like a hater on any of that. As like a older Magic player, I kind of welcome all these things. It does shake up a lot of the legacy formats, a lot of the vintage legacy formats, some of these new cards, but these are reskins. They're pretty harmless compared to new IP just having original cards. So that's Universes Beyond I was talking about, the Secret Lair. So anyways, moving on with our news portion. We're going to get into MagicCon Las Vegas for our second round of MagicCons this year. MagicCon is a qualifier event for the Pro Tour that they kind of combine into like a Comic-Con style event where you get to meet creators and YouTubers who do MagicCon, like Magic videos. You get to meet the Magic the Gathering artists, some of the designers and people who are a part of the whole system. They do panels. Like last time in the Chicago MagicCon this year, we got to go see panels for the space set and the Dragons of Tarkir set, which honestly, I'm seeing news people drop information now, where I dropped all that stuff and the information from the panel like 2-3 weeks ago. So we're kind of ahead of the curve on the news, I should say here around this program. So MagicCon Las Vegas 2025 is going to be the next biggest. And they said the Chicago one was the largest MagicCon they've done so far in the 2 years of doing these, beating Vegas last year. So June 20th through the 22nd will be Vegas. I unfortunately will not be making that one. I'm trying to aim for the Atlanta though, for sure. So we might have a Pack Boys takeover for Atlanta, September 26th through the 28th. June 20th through the 22nd, just not going to be able, it's not in the cards right now for this year. So I just want to talk about what was going on because it was pretty interesting. What I found at Chicago, like I said, they have panels and events on the Mana stage. And the panels and events, so they had game nights. If you're familiar with game nights, they did a live game nights you could attend, which was actually pretty cool. I didn't attend it just because I was wanting to go play games and walk around the con. They had a lot to do that you could just be a part of for free. You didn't even have to pay for. There's paid events like, you just pay money to get into a tournament type stuff while the Pro Tour is going on behind you. But you get that, panels, you get official news, a lot of stores and like marketplace stuff you could just buy singles from, specifically like premium collector stuff. And then people were wheeling and dealing their own cards, so it's kind of like a good event to go. It's a trade show, I should say. It's among all the things that MagicCon is, one of the things it is a trade show. You get free play in the command zone, so like I said, you get to just play free games all day, every day. Even after, at least for Chicago, after the event space closed, they're still able to let us stay until 11 o'clock, which is pretty awesome. So it's just, once you're in, you can't leave, but once you leave, you can't go back in. Art of Magic is the artist alley, where you get to meet all the magic artists, and some of them, like I was told, Richard Kane Ferguson is a artist I met, or I didn't meet, but I got a card signed. A friend helped meet him to get my card signed, I should say. You know who you are, shout out. You get to meet artists who usually don't go to these conventions too, so that was kind of a special one. And then you get to talk to them in a very impersonal, just friendly way. It's really cool. There was a scavenger hunt at the Chicago one. I don't know what the prizes were, but it was really popular. People were asking me if they're like, hey, you know where this is? I didn't even play the game, but you do get rewards. They're bringing back tattoos, which is cool. They had some tattooing. They had magic artists, not magic artists, but they had artists doing magic styled art and like flash designs. So if it's gonna be in Vegas, you know you're gonna get a good round of tattoos. Anytime, okay, listen to me. Anytime you can get a tattoo, you wanna do it at a convention. It's gonna be the best prices. It's gonna be the best types of artists, and that's gonna be the best way to network with artists. Remove magic from this equation now. Tattoo conventions, Smoke Packs, how do you know this? Don't worry, I know this. Family Magic was cool. I had some friends that I met who were running the event. It's always great to bring the kids out, and people were traveling from all around the country and the world, so they did bring their family. And then just the meet and greets and much more. What I thought was cool, I wanted to see what they're going to give everyone for MagicCon Vegas, but it seems like the freebies this time are, again, this is a big hit too, though. A full textless art Avacyn's Pilgrim, just taps for 1 white mana. But I was a little bit jelly. We didn't get this for Chicago. You get, what is this? It looks like, forget his name, but you get a deck box? So you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday badge, any type of badge, 1 non-foil promo card, then 2 times Magic the Gathering Foundation Jumpstart boosters. Oh, that's the youth single day, sorry. Skip the youth day. Single day just gets you the badge and the promo. Guys, this is breaking news. MagicCon Las Vegas. You are not getting the specialty D&D party die like we got in MagicCon Chicago. I don't see any of that offered. I don't see any of that offered in any of what you're getting. Well, shoot. That's a live development right there. But you will get, just scrolling through, Final Fantasy, guys, there will be a Final Fantasy crossover. You will get Final Fantasy Collector boosters if you get premium single day and early bird ticket, and even regular pricing. So I think that's even bigger hit than a die. Getting Final Fantasy Collector boosters is pretty cool, but I think maybe the set will be dropped by then. So I just want to talk about real quick just all the things going on there. Some new stuff. I guess they'll have Lost Tavern. It looks like an R&R area. I don't think they're gonna have alcohol at this event. They didn't have alcohol at the last MagicCon in Chicago. The Lost Tavern makes it sound like there would be alcohol. And then merch of MagicCon Las Vegas. The art, I wanted to see what they're gonna do up for this. Okay. Chicago I thought was better, but we all love the low riding. We all love the low riding. Oh, dude, also I forgot, because I skimmed this article a bit. Once on site, stop by the official show store where you can browse our wide selection of merch. Guys, do not go to the merch line day of. Go the last day or the end of the day. You're going to be waiting there your entire time. First day of MagicCon should be hitting all of your artists, because it'll be on a weekday. Everyone will still be at work or not flying into town. They're coming for Saturday, Sunday. Friday, people, you're going to want to go to the artists. Then do the merch, maybe get a couple of games. Saturday, Sunday, you already hopefully did the merch line, but you did your artists on Friday because you did that, especially the most popular ones. So then Saturday, Sunday, you can do merch line, okay? You see what I'm saying? Flip around what you want to do. But if you're going Friday, hit the artists first. That's Smoke Pack's Fact Secret Strat. So once on site, stop by that. And you can get this year's convention unique secret layer drop, another secret layer drop, a Devastation of Dragons. Known for his use of bold colors, dreamlike compositions, and unique creature designs, legendary fantasy artist Errol Otis brings his signature style to 4 ferocious dragons, descended into the hands of convention attendees. So, okay, I guess MagicCon Vegas, you're getting a little bit fat hookup than even me for Chicago. I just got the special little die for Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't even play. You guys are getting a secret layer drop in sick art. Sign of Ur Dragon's a really good card. Plus sick merch. Plus you're getting Final Fantasy Collector boosters, just even for regular base pay. You got me fucked up. Really unfortunate I'm not going to this one. Oh my god. Then for every $150 they spend in a single transaction at the on-site official store, MagicCon attendees will receive They did not do this at Chicago. They're giving you promos for spending more money. We began distributing the lowest lands last year at MagicCon Las Vegas, where attendees received, then continued the promotion of MagicCon Chicago Island promo. I didn't know about the Island promo. That must have been last year. But this will be Pro Tour Final Fantasy as well, guys. It's not just a trade show and a convention. It's also a meet and greet, get cool cards. Oh, Peach Momoko Lightning Bolt. Peach Momoko Lightning Bolt. These are prizes that you're going to win if you're just going there as like a contender for the qualifying for Pro Tour. So this isn't just for attendees. This is more so for any of the players, these cards. But Peach Momoko Lightning Bolt's going to go for money, I'm telling you right now. So I just want to just quickly high-key glaze over, because we already went to MagicCon already. We're going to be talking about this more in the future. But just real quick getting into what the event should look like, what the itinerary, what I'm telling you should do. Friday, hit the Artist Alley first for your signatures, especially if Chris Ron is there, because he's going to be busy as that. So that's my tip. That's what's going on. We're going to get into the finance portion of MTG Game State. I will now descend the keyboard down. I will now sip my coffee. I will now stop digressing. First off, we do not talk about reserve list cards on this show. I try not to because their prices can be skewed. But the set that this is from and the type of card this is just kind of demands it, because it has been in my radar. It has been being shown. I'm seeing it all the damn time. Revised edition. Where are ya? Oh, sorry. Unlimited. My bad. Unlimited edition copy artifact This copy artifact is a reserve list card, meaning it will never be printed ever again. It is currently used in a legacy deck for Tezzeret control, which is crazy. So that means it's even more sought after if it's being used in a format, especially a legacy or vintage format. 2-drop enchantment blue. You may have copy artifact enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact on the battlefield, except it's an enchantment in addition to its other types. Legal in legacy, vintage, and commander. Vintage and legacy, really where this is going to shine. Play copy artifact for 2. I'm getting a copy, if you didn't crack it for whatever crazy reason, of your Black Lotus or any of your Mox, Ambers, Diamonds, the Mox cards. Do your own research on what those are. MTG Mox, just type that in, okay? Why I thought, again, this is crazy. We're seeing it, it's a reserve list card. It will never be printed ever again, so these always tend to go for a premium price on the market. We're using MTG stocks, so that usually uses TCG player information. I would aggregate off eBay, TCG, and then Card Kingdom for the prices of reserve list. If you're gonna buy reserve list, buy at your local game store, or if you're gonna meet people in real life, know the signs, the sounds, the smells, and what to know for a real card, and the signifiers on the sets. Do your own research. We might have to talk about that one day. But I'm seeing this card average listing on TCG Player going for $720. Market's buying for $197. I realistically think this is going to be a card. You could eBay it. You could do whatever. Card Kingdom will never sell you reserve list cards ever. But really, you're going to want to buy this for about $250. Someone's probably going to sell this to you for $300. But if you could get a copy artifact unlimited edition for $250, try to get a playset of 4 if you can. $250, a playset of 4 if you can, because this is one collector's piece. It's used in 60 card formats, and then it's part of Magic's history. It's the unlimited edition, so it's like the 5th set within Magic's first few expansions. Again, if you want a piece of reserve list, this is kind of cheap, but if you're gonna be spending 200 something bucks on a playset of copy artifact, then maybe you want to just save your money and buy a reserve list dual land or an unlimited dual land. That's my advice on that. Like I said, we try not to cover too insane premium collector stuff because it's kind of hard to just talk about their pricing from just TCG Player. You have to get a little philosophical on it, and then I have to kind of yell at you guys, which I don't really like to do. Card number 2 is kind of a fun one for me, and this one's from the Onslaught printing. Aggravated Assault. This is a 3-drop enchantment. Getting into enchantments here. 3-drop enchantment in red, and then you can pay 5, 3 and 2 red. Untap all creatures you control. After this main phase, there's an additional combat followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. Already, my Angel players who play with white-red, you know this card. If you've been on the other side of this card, you know it and love it as well. You fear it, you're scared of it. I really only care, it's not even used in the 60 card formats. I really only care about this card in Commander where it's legal. It is legal in Legacy and Vintage, but that's too steep of a cost to be doing an effective double combat. You're not doing that over in those scenes. Average listing on TCG Player was rising up to 33 bones, which is kind of crazy. But the market's buying at $8. This is realistically an $8 or $9 card at any given time. If the Onslaught print is $20, we have completely lost our ways. I think the market's just listing high on TCG Player. People are listing the card high, so TCG Player aggregates it, but realistically the market's going to be buying cheap as they possibly can. See, it's trying to get to a $10 card. And it realistically might, if TCG Player is one of the only sites where you can get it if you want it on the online marketplaces. I go to my local game store where I know they're always going to have these types of cards. And again, it's suffering like we talked about earlier of the, oh no, I'm printed a lot, I'm reprinted a lot, but in premium prints, crazy arts, not necessarily reprinted in this style, same art across multiple sets that were released in standard, like the Ixalan set would be. I don't know if Explorers of Ixalan is, I think that's an expansion outside of standard, don't quote me. But the masterpieces of Amun and Cat, come on, that's the chase card stuff. Secret Lair, Wilds of Eldraine, the freaking alt art enchantments, those are, again, chase cards. I don't want to harp on it too much since we talk about it all the damn time. But this card is real good, gives double combat, good for Commander. If it's going to be going up to $10, I'm sounding the alarm on it now. You might as well get it, Because if they're going to try to make this like a $20 card on the market for whatever card specifically got spoiled that's going to make this broken, that's usually why things kind of tend on to like increase in price as we go along in time. Voice crack. But hey, aggravated assault. Favorite. You love to hear it. You love to see it. All right. Card number 3. If I could spell this, Simulacrum Synthesizer. Now, during MagicCon Chicago, one of my homies was talking about this card, and not the... Specifically, he was looking for, I think, an extended art foil of Simulacrum Synthesizer from the Big Score, which is a set within the Outlaws Thunder Junction set. But I want to talk about the showcase frame, even if it's not foil, the showcase frame Simulacrum Synthesizer. This is a card that is being used currently. I know that for a fact. It's a 3-drop artifact in blue. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, already good for when you want blink shit with this. Blinking is like similar to my Marvel Snap people. Kitty Pryde, how she goes onto the battlefield and returns back to hand. We do that in Magic, but other ways to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to go back to hand. You could just make it show up on the battlefield, leave, and return as a new permanent. There's ways to do it. Whenever another artifact with mana value 3 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with. This creature gets +1 for each artifact you control. So that's pretty big, because, 3 or greater. If it was 3 or less, this would hit treasures. That would be nuts. But this is going to be good for anything that's going to just pump out artifacts, because then you're going to get a wide body. You're kind of creating like extra tokens with it. And then it's getting +1 for each artifact you control, so their powers are all stacking up on each other. So it's kind of like an endgame swing piece. Currently seeing it in Delirium Standard and Merfolk's and Vintage. I can only imagine the damage this does in Merfolk's, but that's kind of weird since it cares about artifacts. You can get into it. Oh, okay, Phyrexian Metamorph, say less, that's why. Phyrexian Metamorph will come in, copy stuff, it's an artifact creature. Then you're going to play that card, which cares about it. Okay, cool. So people are searching for this card in Commander. People are searching for this card for their collection. The big whale people, though, I know, we're looking for the showcase frame and the extended arts just to own for their blinged out collections. Average listing on TCG Player is going to run you about $114. Market's buying for $94. We could round that up to $95. So the showcase frame is going to be a $100 card, non-foil. And it's pretty hard to find in the wild, I'm not even going to lie to you. So that's my little sounding alarm on that too. Kind of more of a Commander-based episode and even like a Vintage Legacy vibe today, which is a little out the norm from my usual Market Watch stuff, but hey. So our 4th honorable mention, I'm, again, sounding the alarm on the land cycle, if I could get the cards right, from Duskmourn. Can't spell. Thornspire Verge, but it could be any of the Duskmourn House of Horror lands that do these abilities. I don't know what we call this cycle of lands, but Thornspire Verge is a land card. Always good to own real estate in Magic if you're collecting, guys. Lands are real estate. Tap, add 1 red, or tap, add 1 green, but only activate if you control a mountain or forest. Now, we have cards in Magic that come in tapped, but will enter untapped if you have a mountain or forest, or the Strixhaven ones reveal a mountain or forest from your hand. The land will come in untapped and it's a duel. These are your next best friend. I think these are only going to be good. This cycle of lands, and also Thornspire Verge, is only going to be good in formats like we see here, Standard and Pioneer. I don't think this is going to be used anywhere in Modern, Vintage, or Legacy. Commander, this will be good. Average listing on TCG Player is about $8. Market's buying at $7, so we could round these off to going up to a $10 card pretty soon in the near future. At least in the green-red. Blue-black as a color pie choice, for example, is a good one. That could go up in more. Blue-white also could go up more. I think this is just good mana fixing. It's always good to have dual-colored lands. If they can come in untapped, even better. And even if you can't get off rip the forest activation, it will hit later. You will get a mountain and forest. And because the type, the type line says mountain or forest, this will hit your fetch lands, which are going to count in their type line as either land type. So that's pretty cool. I think, again, sounding the alarm on a unique slept on in Standard still, and the Pioneer, which will be in Pioneer for a while. So that's also why I think these will be a $10 card for, like, these. This cycle will be $10 for a while, or at least hovering near there, because Pioneer is the next set after Standard that's kind of like extended, use all of Magic's history cards. So that's my Magic watch on that one. I felt like that was a pretty beefy informational episode. Let me know what you guys are thinking on that. Let me know how you felt about the spoilers for SpongeBob. If you're gonna be watching this on the YouTube, we'll be seeing this on Monday. Today is March 14th. So that means we will be seeing this on Monday, March 17th, probably around like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. time in the morning. That's centralized standard time. So really appreciate y'all for hanging out and chilling with me on this one, getting a vibe, catching a wave, and hearing me sound the alarm on my little smoke box here. Yeah.